Hello my foodie friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're here before you leave, if you like the content I'm putting out, give me a like, hit that bell to stay notified, share, and as always, subscribe. So in Canada you get legit 4 seasons in one day, and although it's a lovely 21 degrees today, it's rainy, we're still going to attempt to use the barbecue. It's a fish day in this house, and typically we have fish every Friday. So today I found a lovely piece of salmon. Now it is a little bit on the higher price point of our meal plan, but I'm going to make it into 2 meals. I'm going to reserve one of those videos for another time. Stay tuned. But the same prep for this 2 meals we're going to do today. So let's get started, shall we? Because it's salmon, so you can just dust it with some salt and pepper and give it a nice sear, and there you go. But we're going to marinate our salmon. All right, so let's get started, shall we? So our marinade, we have some, that's my compost pile. That's my compost pile. We have some fresh dill that I've literally just given a very rough chop to. Okay, we're going to reserve some of this for garnish on our plate afterwards, before we go for presentation. And then we are going to use most of it in our marinade. And we've got a lemon. So before we start, we're just going to put the lemon on the counter and we're just going to roll it back and forth to soften the inside and kind of get it ready so it'll release all those juices, so I'm not going to hella struggle. Then we're going to get our microplane, our zester here. And again, if you don't have like a fancy one, legit, I just ordered a whole bunch of Curtis Stone ones that I'm waiting for. If you don't have a fancy one, they sell them at the dollar store for like $2. You don't have to get all fancy pants about it. Here's the important thing when you're zesting, guys. When you start to see the white, stop. Okay, that's the pith, that's bitter, and it's going to give a bitter note to your
Mommy, the different flavors are gone.
The whole point of the zest is it's going to add a very floral and a citrus note to it, okay? Side note, I think I've mentioned it before in a previous video, but the pith, fun fact, is a thickening agent for when you're making jam. Don't know if y'all have made jam before. We've made jam lots of times. Super yummy, very easy. Stay tuned for that one. Okay, so we are going to use the juice of the lemon, but first we're going to get all of our stuff zested in, so we're just going to set the lemon aside. I'm using 3 small cloves of garlic. Sounds like a lot, but it's going to do a nice piece of salmon. So I'm literally just going to be zesting my garlic in, and when I'm done that, we'll be right back. Alright, so we've got our lemon zest and our garlic in there. We're going to give this a slice. Oh my. Sorry, forgot how close the tripod was. So if you don't have a fancy dancy lemon squeezer, then go ahead and squeeze it by hand. Use whatever you've got. But I just totally put it in. Oh no, I had it right. Oh no. And it's just a marinade, guys. So if you get some seeds in your marinade, like, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. You're not eating them. It's fine. So we're going to put the juice of 1 full lemon in. See, it's my compost pile. Because here in Canada, we compost. Well, most parts of Canada and most parts of Ontario, actually. Where my parents live, they didn't previously compost, and my parents did it independently. Good Canadians, good people they are. Oh, I made a mess. Alright, so we're just going to get the juice in. Okay? And to that, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons, okay, of our dill. And I'm reserving about a tablespoon for, oh, can't put it there. We got our Curtis Stone DuraPan oven in today. Gonna do an unboxing video. Watch for that. And it's not, I'm not an unboxer. I'm not a reviewer. But I love Curtis Stone, and I don't get paid by him. I don't get a cut. I don't nothing because I just love him. I love his stuff. I'm so excited. Okay, moving on. We're gonna save the salt and pepper for last. So right now, you're gonna get our salmon out. We're gonna wash it. We're gonna pat it dry, and then we're gonna wash our hands because clean hands in the kitchen, hella important, guys. No cross-contamination, okay? So we got a lovely piece of salmon. We do have the skin on. My husband does like the skin, so I'm not gonna take it off. But we are going to thoroughly check to make sure that it has been deboned properly because a salmon bone would be detrimental to you continuing to live should you choke on it. So let's get this washed up. Let's get washed up and we'll be right back. Okay guys, this has been deboned, but if you choke on this, I mean, I don't think too many people come back from that, right? Super thin. So how we're going to check is we are going to place it on a flat surface on our clean board, and we're going to run our hands all through the meat, okay? Sometimes you're lucky and you'll just find them floating on top and you can just pick them off. But we're going to run our hands all throughout the meat, and we're going to look and press down a little bit to see if we can feel a bone sticking up or protruding through this really nice piece of salmon. And if we do, we're going to pull it with our fingers. Okay, if you cannot pull it through your fingers, a good pair of kitchen tweezers. COVID-19. You suck. All right. So we're just a pair of kitchen tweezers. So really, you can just go, and even at the dollar store, they sell really crappy tweezers in the hardware aisle. And you can just put a special piece of tape on the handle so that you know that those are your kitchen tweezers or pliers, whatever you would like to use, but know that they're for the kitchen. Sanitize them, clean them, because that's important. Okay, and so I've run my hands through all parts of this lovely piece of meat. She seems to be good. Now, if I were having a dinner party over, I would portion this out and I would slice it. Okay, so this would be a lovely portion, a portion, a portion, a portion, doggy piece. So this was about $22 or so. That's already in the garbage. So I would get 4 lovely pieces out of this. Now I am going to feed 4 very comfortably this evening, and I am going to make sure that I have some left over that I'm going to throw in the freezer because it's going to become salmon cakes for an entree about 2 weeks from now. Okay? So it's totally possible. Because I'm not cutting it, this piece is going to go straight into our marinade. Okay? This piece, our cutting board, is going to go directly into the dishwasher because it doesn't matter how good of a dishwasher y'all think you are, cross-contamination is deadly, guys. And the only way to properly sterilize cutting boards after they have had raw meat, especially poultry, on them is to go in the dishwasher. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to do a nice salt and pepper kind of all over. Okay? So I'm keeping one dry hand so that I can manipulate other things in the kitchen without cross-contaminating. And my one wet hand is using to do all of the work so that I'm not having to rewash my hands 50 times during this process. Okay, so you just want to make sure you rub everything in. We're going to give it a flip. Okay, and you want to make sure that the skin is cooked too. I mean, there are quite a lot of people who enjoy salmon skin. It has a lot of good nutrients in it. I'm not one of them. But culturally for my husband, he loves salmon skin, especially when we go out for Japanese food. He loves salmon skin hand rolls. I see the appeal. Alright. So now we're just going to cover it and we're going to put it in a chilled fridge. Look at that. If you could smell this, guys. It's delicious. And if you see that the salmon is turning color, it's starting to cook essentially, that's because of the acidity from the lemon. Okay? So we're going to cover it and we're going to take it out of the fridge about 30 minutes prior to putting it on the grill. We don't want to put freezing cold meat on a very hot grill. Things are going to seize. It's not going to end well. Your temperatures are going to be all wonky. Keep that in mind. So we're going to see you when we go to the grill. Okay guys, we're going to start, well, we've got our veg on for one of our sides, but for our salmon we're going to spray down the grill here nice. Okay. And I didn't bring my tripod outside because it's raining. It's taking a break now. So we're going to start skin side down. Okay. And we're going to let it go for probably about 5 to 6 minutes on each side. Gonna get more tongs for there, but yeah, 5 to 6 minutes each side, skin side down first. Okay guys, it's been about 5 to 6 minutes. So if you can see the start here, there's right along here, there's some white fat coming up from the salmon, and I've checked the bottom of the skin. It's a good time to flip her. I do need 2 hands for this, so I'm just going to pause you for a sec. Okay, so never done this one-handed. Bear with me. Boom. Alright, so look at that beautiful skin. Okay, we're gonna cook this for another 5 to 6 minutes. Our vegetables are probably about 3 to 4 minutes away from being done, and then we're gonna let our salmon rest for about 5 minutes when she's done. I'm gonna get this closer to that heat, and we'll see you soon. So I just want to show you we're about 2 minutes away from done. You see all that lovely fat coming out? Yeah, that's how you know, guys, we're not quite there yet. The skin is nice, so we're going to let it go another 2 minutes. It was a really thick piece of salmon. That's fine. And it is a little cold and windy today. So we're going to let that go another 2 minutes. Okay guys, I flipped her. She's good. I shut off the barbecue. It's lovely. We're going to put her on our platter here, and we're going to let her rest for 5 minutes, which will allow me to get everything else ready. And then, as always, we'll break it down for you. Alright guys, let's get our lovely dinner here ready. So, clean hands. I've just thoroughly scrubbed for 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm okay to kind of do this chefy move, I suppose. Please wash your hands. Cross-contamination, it does kill. It makes people hella sick. So, let's break it down. The amount of salmon, because I'm going to reserve some for salmon cakes that we are going to use, is about $16. Now, if you are serving this whole entire platter, we're going to base tonight's dinner off of that, but please know we are not eating all of the salmon. I will reserve about a quarter of it for salmon cakes, a future video, because that's just how we stretch our budget. But let's say our salmon here was $22. Now you can definitely feed 6 people If you've got some company coming, this is such a lovely dish. This time you're gonna come with me while I wash my hands, y'all. You're gonna come with me. Now I did only use one hand, so my clean hand is going to take my soap. And in my head, while I'm speaking to you for 20 seconds, I'm going to sing happy birthday, because that's how I wash my hands. By the way, okay, and make sure you get your thumbs, okay? So let's say $22 for the salmon. The amount, I had like 10 little sprigs, that's really hot, of asparagus left. So use one of those. I used one zucchini and 2 peppers. So my vegetables altogether were probably about $3. So let's say we're at 25. I am serving it with a French baguette. That was $1, so 26. And the amount of French fries, excuse me, Solos Los Cabos, my poochie. Okay, well, the tripod's going around the dog. The amount of potatoes I used was maybe $1, so 27. The lemon and the dill were at 30. Now I'm feeding 6 people with all of this food very comfortably. If you are having some people over, this is such a lovely dinner, a lovely presentation. Okay, we've got some fresh dill here that we reserved that we're just gonna go over the top of our salmon just for presentation. You know what, I'm just gonna throw some sprigs over the fries. Why not, right? Okay, and I sliced up half of a lemon. I sliced up half of a lemon just for people to kind of take and squirt. You can literally place it however you want over your salmon. People can take it, they can cut into it. So for under $30, feeding 6. Now, if 6 of you went to a restaurant and this is what you got, oh gosh, you'd be spending upwards of $20 a plate plus tax and gratuity. So you're at $120 and you haven't even had a glass of wine, you haven't had a beer, you haven't had an appetizer. $30. Now remember, for us, we're gonna take off about $7 because that portion of fish is what it would cost me at a grocery store to make salmon cakes. So we spent $23 essentially to make this meal. $23 and we're feeding 4. I mean, that's hella cheap, okay? Especially if we went to a restaurant. So there it is, guys. We've got some grilled vegetables. We've got some lovely marinated salmon. We've got some air fried potatoes. We've got a lovely French baguette. If you like the content that I'm putting out, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified when I upload content. I will be uploading 3 times a week now. Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed. From my table to yours. Enjoy. And we'll see you in the next video.